Hello again, we are back. Oh, let me adjust that. There we go. Had to adjust my size here. This is going to be my 5th run today. This is later in the afternoon. Now it's like in the evening. So we're doing another random one. So I'm going to do a 5th one today and a 5th one tomorrow to kind of get to that magical 70 number. It's another Azazel run. Alrighty. Receipt is VY4SFXHW. I went out today to the grocery store and got some more dish soap. And yeah, and got some. I had a what is it? A meat stick or whatever. That was pretty tasty. Some protein in. Not a whole lot happened. I threw out some trash, threw out some boxes and everything, so everything like that. So my apartment's a little more cozier. Took out the garbage too. So yeah. I was just reading. There was an interview recently with Macmillan about pendants and other stuff. And of course, by the time this video comes out, it's gonna be, you know, like I said in these series of videos, or if you're new to these videos, the Repentance is going to have most of everything from Anti-Birth, so that means all the bosses. I don't think it's been confirmed yet about the Witness, but I think probably the Witness is going to be in there too. So, but what's also cool too is they also fix a lot of the complex mechanics from the Anti-Birth bosses, because I guess the reason why is because like the mechanics are too hard to like memorize all at once, which I don't know about like Beelzebub and Plum. I think maybe it's like certain bosses. I mean, I hope Chimera is not in there though. I mean, at least if it is in there, at least fix it. Because I've seen videos of people like getting like absolutely stomped on by it, and I had some experiences with the Chimera boss, and he ain't fun at times. My controls are a little bit like funky. I don't know what was going on. Was the spider web I stepped in or something? Just a slight delay. So that means we probably get Jacob and Esau for pendants. Bethany's definitely in there. I guess Bethany's gonna have more synergistic like starter items or starter like abilities and stuff. Same as like the other characters, so that's nice. Again, it's like a lot of hints and stuff going around. The game's gonna be obviously harder. They're gonna do stuff with the mechanics where they're gonna help us early on about like, you know, with giving us the right items that we need instead of, you know, suffering through the run with low damage or something throughout. But that's a nice thing. Nice little mechanic to add. Because there was times like with a couple of those Eden runs we had that I kept dying. Like we probably would have had a chance if I didn't take a pill for one of them. And it's kind of sucks because like we needed like a sense of like DPS, and we were just kind of running out of options, and then they got yeeted. Now, could have made it? Yeah. I mean, we had to be extremely careful, and I wasn't. But, you know. Yeah, the sun finally came out today, by the way. It was, yeah, sunny, clear skies. The only difference was it was kind of cold out and it was really windy. So, I mean, it's been kind of cold the last few days, but like, at least like, we have some sunlight here. I'm gonna do some anti-bird tonight. Can't wait for that. I'll do another Bethany run and another Jacob and Esau run. Now that I have an idea about like the shift key ability, which I had no clue about. I'm gonna have to figure out like how to utilize the shift key stuff. Because that's gonna be like crucial for these characters. Like I'm surprised like we didn't even use the shift key for this whole like Jacob and Esau run for the first one. Amnesia. Or we did 2 runs technically, but like initially, because I died the first time. Okay, what we got here? Advantage. Alrighty, we'll take that. Can't use it just yet, but it's nice to have. And this looks good so far. Not much room for damage upgrade yet, but you know, we got some defense items for the most part, so that's nice. I'm still kind of like, I'm like a little tired right now. Of course, probably because like I keep going in and outside and coming inside. There's a huge temperature difference. The thing I read about is like seasonal affective disorder, and that's like people who get really tired during the winter months. Well, from like fall when it starts getting cold out to like as late as like early spring or something. Like people's, you know, people are more run down, I guess, than normally. Combat that sort of is exercise, eating healthy, taking vitamins, especially like vitamin D. Helps. Hydration and stuff. Just, you know, just the myriad of things here. Reminds me of years ago there was like this talk about this one miracle drug the scientists are developing. It says you take one of these and you'll live a very long life or something like that. It's like so it means that I can like take one of these things, smoke like a chimney, and then live to be in my 90s. No, there's a lot of factors. Oh no, well, you can't smoke until you're not. You can't smoke because that's gonna like completely ruin the effects. You just said you got a pill that's gonna like extend my life. Yeah, but it's only up to so many years, and we just want to make a catchy. We're not making. Well, it's usually not them making a catchy thing. It's usually like a the news would like spin something. It's like, oh well, this is gonna like revolutionate stuff. Da da da. Or take someone's words out of context and be like, oh yay. It's like was it back in 2014 or something? Like I was looking for health benefits about standing more and stuff. And well, the funny thing was like I kept finding articles from 2013 to 2014. Maybe some in 2015. It's like standing desks benefits, you know, this where to find a standing desk, you know, use it for work, you know, stuff like that. All over the place. like a whole trend of like, oh, this is a healthy trend. Huh, stand up and yeah, that's it. And I can eat like 50 cupcakes and then like just stand up all day and I'll be just as healthy, huh? No. No, I mean, they're not trying to say like, you know, standing up is just going to solve all your health problems. It's just like, it's illustrating like, you know, the issue of people not moving as much and what have you, which is an issue because, you know, we are doing a lot more in-home entertainment thing, you know, over the years, and it's been getting progressively worse with having that trending, especially with COVID accelerating it even further. Me personally, I'm old-fashioned, so like I like going out of my way and work for what I want to, you know, work for instead of like taking the easy way out and be like, oh well, whatever. Now truly though, to an extent, like I do like watch streaming services and stuff here and there. Like I've been recently been watching like new movies on Amazon Prime when they occasionally release like, you know, big name movies or certain big name movies from like whenever. And I've been watching like some old time films. Escape from Alcatraz is really good with Clint Eastwood. And then it had this one guy in there that was from In the Heat of the Night. I recognized him immediately because he was in an episode on there, which was also a show I was watching for a while. I need to finish the series and then get to the TV movies, and then I'm just like done. I think I'm on season 3 for that. But it seems like yeah, with this COVID stuff, like I said, it's like it accelerating all this like need for digital demand and the last need to like stay home. And I stay home. I wish that was the case. Get more people to come out and stuff like the old days. No, I meant to say the other opposite. More of a need to stay home than to leave. And I mean, I haven't been, you know, practicing like that too much because of most of the events are closed down, or most of these venues because of lockdowns and whatever. So that's kind of out of my control, unless I set up my own like underground DJ thing going on. What? I wonder if I can pull that off though. I'm not really great with like mixing music or anything too much, but I could probably take someone else's work and be like, yeah, I actually made this, guys. It's like mixed together with that Crocodile song with Chop Suey and pretend like there's something I wrote. Yeah, I combined these two. I made a remix. They're not gonna dance to that though, I know that. That is a fairly old songs, and like it doesn't have a beat to it to make it fun. Like I know grocery stores, they've been also going out of their way to try to utilize new services for people. So like, you know, you got Amazon Prime that's been around even before COVID, and then you have Walmart Plus, and then you start seeing these streaming services for like for like video on demand stuff. Like I think Paramount started their thing. I think HBO was doing their thing for a while. Peacock is doing something. When someone did the math, it costs like probably like over $200 a month just to have all these streaming services, because each one of them has stuff that they don't have for another. Used to be where it was just like Netflix and Hulu. Those are like the big ones. Now it's like, you know, everybody wants to do their thing. Everyone wants a piece of their pie. And how they can maximize profits and stuff. And uh-oh, this freeze? Oh, okay. There we go. Yeah, it did. I don't know what caused that. Must have been like because that thing's sucking in the room and then the TNT was about to go off. It probably like made the game confused. It's like, yeah, we're trying to process this. Speaking of games, going back with the Repentance update thing I saw, it was kind of like a TLDR for like this video interview between Edward McMillan and one of these well-known video streamers on YouTube for Isaac content, and he's talking about like Eden streaks. It's like you should complete the game and get all the items before you do Eden streaks, right? And then another one which was like you don't have to do Eden streaks to have fun or something like that in the lines. And I feel like, to me, that's more of a, well, kind of a sly pot shot, maybe not whether intentional or not, towards a particular YouTube streamer doing Isaac content. I'm not saying the name, but you might have an idea that does. What do we got here? Text message? What is happening here? They did something with someone tell me something about The Simpsons. So they changed Carl's voice to something else or something. I couldn't really get the text message. And it said it sounds so unbelievably wrong. I haven't watched The Simpsons. I mean, the person who just texted me, they actually introduced me to The Simpsons when I was a kid and stuff. We watched it together and stuff. It was like one of the most tamest like adult shows. I mean, kind of. It had a lot of sexual jokes and stuff in it. At the time, we didn't really. Us kids didn't know about. But technically, it was like one of the tamest, you know, compared to like Beavis and Butthead, Rocko's Modern Life. Yeah, I know that's an adult show. I mean, when I was a kid, I didn't think it was and stuff, but I guess it was. I mean, Ren and Stimpy obviously was, but like, my mother wasn't stopping me from watching that for some reason. Probably because maybe she wasn't aware of it, and I didn't say anything. It used to come on Nick, like on broad daylight, not at night, in the morning or afternoon or something. That's been such a while back. I think they tried bringing that show back. That or Beavis and Butthead. It might have been Beavis and Butthead where they brought back briefly, or just kind of do it. It's a totally different generation. It's weird. Like there's talks about like bringing back. I mean, there was a trailer about Tales from the Crypt to come back. And if you don't know what Tales of the Crypt was, it was this. So there's this crypt keeper named Frida, and Frida would tell stories. So they're supposed to be scary stories. It's kind of like a mix of Twilight Zone and then like just something. It was kind of modern for its time, so it's like a modern form of that. And it kind of reminded me too of a movie I'd seen, and they made a second one I haven't seen yet. which is Creep Show. Which Creep Show was like, this came out like a few years before Tales from the Crypt. So I kind of wonder if that was like something that was like inspired to make Crypt Keeper. So like Creep Show kind of fitted that to an extent, but the sketches wasn't that great, but I could understand like the very similar generic theme and stuff revolving around that. So Crypt Keeper, it lasted for, I guess, a few years or something. So I think the ones we were seeing on TV were reruns back in the 90s. So it was fairly new at that point. It would come out late at night, and we would watch it. And surprisingly, our mother let us to watch it with our brother and stuff, Bruce brother. And it's very entertaining. I like it. I really do. I watched a few episodes like last couple of years and stuff. I think they have it all on YouTube now. People just upload it or something like that. And like for us kids, it might have been kind of scary-ish, but now it's like kind of comical and kind of neat. They have notable actors in there that were popular at the time, or they're going to start taking off in the later years, which is pretty cool to see. Whoops. I've also seen the Twilight Zone movie from, what was it, the 80s or the 90s when it came out? I thought that was okay. Maybe it was a little bit different than the show, of course, but as far as I know, I think Twilight Zone is still playing on the Sci-Fi Network late at night. I think they kind of shows the stuff up all the way through the morning. So that's kind of cool. Instead of like having a bunch of infomercials like the rest of everything. I don't know what I think Adult Swim, which is like Cartoon Network, basically. I think they have like infomercial stuff for a short time. I think. Obviously, the shopping network's going to have infomercials 24/7. I mean, they're trying to sell you something. Reminds me of that South Park episode with trying to get this money out of this gold bracelet that Kyle's grandfather was scammed out of. And why not? Oh, that's why not. Okay. Oh, we're starting with less damage than usual here.
I can see forever.
Okay. And anyways, he goes through this whole, like, you know, strenuous journey to try to, like, get his money back and stuff. And he went through all sorts of, like, loops and different chains of command, and they're just all just giving him, like, no option but to, like, go through this whole journey just to, like, get what he needs back. It's a parody of life. I used to get into, like, what is it? like Netflix, like watching Netflix movies and stuff like that, and Netflix original stuff. Like I was really into you know what? This is pretty good. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, we got all right, we got knives. Yeah. This is good enough. And Brimstone again. And Death's Touch. Man, we got a lot of stuff going on here. Yeah, as I was saying, like yeah, I was big into that. And like the day that the was it season 3 that came out, I watched like all the episodes morning till night or afternoon, whatever. I guess that makes me a nerd, but because originally I heard good things about the show from some people, and they were kind of talking about it and stuff. So I never seen it. And it was like, oh, you should watch it. Da, da, da. So I had a chance to watch like both seasons in time just before like season 3 was gonna air. I thought it was interesting, unique, for sure. And then I tried watching this one, it's supposed to be a remake of this British show, and it was on Amazon Prime, and I was like, you know what, I'll watch it, and it's an Amazon Prime like original or something like that. I watched it, and I don't like it. I forgot what it was called, but like, I didn't like it. And then I watched like a couple other ones that Amazon like produced or whatever, and no, I don't like those either. They're terrible. I mean, yeah, you got a lot of money to like throw your money around and stuff to do stuff, but for me, it's like, this is not good. And then I watched this another, well, it was like only one season, and I think it was one season, something like that. And it's about this guy who gets uploaded into the cloud or something like that as a result of this accident, but then but as the thing goes on, you find out like stuff that's been really happening, and it's just like, it's kind of uncomfortable and cheesy to watch. It's just not for me. And I watched a couple other ones. They're whatever, not shows, but like Amazon made movies. They're not great. Now I heard about like, was it The Man of the High Castle or something? I think that's an Amazon thing. That's supposedly good, but I don't know. I've already watched it like a bunch so far, and I'm like, not a bunch, a few of these so far, and it's like, this is not for me. I watched quite a few like new movies last year because COVID. I know this is the thing about films again. I know, like streaming services. I guess we could just talk about here. Anyways, going back to streaming services, so like Walmart Plus has a thing with that, which is like meant mostly for groceries and retail stuff, like delivery, and you get a discount for gas and all that, you know, fun stuff. And then like there's some parts of the U.S. that's got Hy-Vee, and so like Hy-Vee's doing their own thing too. Hy-Vee Plus. Plus. We'll get your groceries for you if you hit a minimum. And, you know, stuff like that. And then trying to just throw something to the wall to make it relevant for today's thing. And I'm like, really? I want an excuse to go out of my house, you know? I want to go out and be like, you know, get my groceries, carry them home and stuff like that, and have some exercise. You know, that's another thing too, is like, most of the time when I go to the grocery store, I don't use a machine to like check out, and it's been kind of a thing for some grocery stores that do that. They just leave you hanging. And when I went to try to go to McDonald's last week for a salad, which is pretty ironic, rather than just going to the machine, I just wanted to order from a human being. I like to interact with a human being, you know? I don't want to interact with a cold machine. That could, like, well, probably couldn't really screw up my order because it's the people who's cooking it or making it something. But it's not the sense that it's gonna screw up my order. It's the sense of like human connectivity-ness. And with these streaming services and with these theaters being shut down, like there's this need to like have less human contact because of, you know, of course, this coronavirus, of course. But then that's going to accelerate things once, you know, well, at this rate, like these vaccines are already spreading across the U.S. and other countries. And I think they're in the different phases. My word. Just don't have the speed to get out of here. Oh, come on. At least we can fly, though. Oh, a key, huh? We might just go to Hush. It's one of those Hushy episodes, huh? Yeah. Because we're so powerful, we're so quick, and we got a lot of health here. And we got the Polaroids, so that's gonna like accelerate our thing. Now, would I go to like Delirium? I'll think about it. But I also gotta record 3 videos tonight for Antibirth. Get all my Antibirth, you know, skills up to par a little bit prior to Repentance, because there's gonna be a lot of Antibirthy things going on. Like here in my town, like since the pandemic happened, they've like one magazine in particular was this is gonna get a little spicy here, but we're gonna go back to see if we get about getting some health here. And then go to Hush. If we make it in time, I don't think we will. Oh boy. You know what? We're gonna have to just forget it. Alright, that's good enough. Okay. Let me free. Carry on, wayward son. There we go. There'll be peace with you when we're done. I think that's the lyrics. Don't crucify me for that, please. So like there's this magazine that is trying to promote this idea. It's like we're not going to promote like any. Ooh, that's gonna help. Let's see how this works. Okay. There's no epic cack shots. So that's nice. Ish. I say ish because that only up our damage a little bit, but it's fine. And you know what? We could pay ourselves for it now. Now, yeah, ever since where they've, you know, this stuff's been happening, they're like, we're not going to be promoting events that are in person anymore due to COVID. Which, whatever. I mean, that's your choice, but it's also like you're also like messing with the community a little too much with your righteousness, or the pseudo righteousness you're trying to project amongst people. Also, this brimstone knife setup going on here, it's mucho bueno. Like, I'm trying. Sorry, if I butchered that. I'm not very good with Spanish, as you can tell. I've tried Spanish class when I was in middle school. Well, not tried, I was forced to. So, it might probably makes things worse when I I'm forced to do something I can't do well. Ah, we might just go to Delirium. Look at this. Just Hush is all like hushy. Big old hush puppy here. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Just got yeeted. I was thinking at first in the run, it's like, yeah, we're gonna like, we might have some difficulty taking him down. And then we get Ipecac. It's like, you know what? Never mind. So you can see this is just a mess here. I'd be pretty impressed if we Phantom the first boss. Phantom is, you know, the first strike room. I think so. Supposedly there's a way to like know where to go. But I think that's just like guessing, because how can you? Oh, he's over here in this corner because it's way out over here. No, not really. It's not the case all the time. He has no set standard of where he wants to sit. In fact, all these enemies are probably technically Delirium himself. You just want to find his truest form. Like Pennywise or something. You don't see his truest form because not a single human soul can like comprehend his form, because it's never found in nature. So we perceive him as something that is, you know, familiar to us as a human species. I never read the books. I've just read like little pieces online just to kind of get a gist of like Pennywise, I guess. I ain't sitting down reading like a long book like that, especially a work of fiction. Oh, it's Delirium. Nothing wrong with fiction. It's just like I'm built different. I guess it's a cop-out to be like, I'm lazy. And I'm not going to admit to it. Also, these knives. Whoa, look at that. Look at them go. Oh, Delirium, I am sad to say you just got yeeted. You know what? Because of how quick this episode went, I'm just going to go around and kill the rest of these bosses and stuff. Because, like, that was pretty satisfying. Wiping them out so quickly here. But yeah, like this magazine's kind of like doing their thing with that, and like obviously there's a pretty good subset of people around here. They're mostly young. That is nothing to do with that. And when you keep people cooped up, not doing a whole lot, it makes them stir crazy. So what are they gonna do? They're gonna go out and find an escape. Besides, like, I mean, you're gonna have some people that's gonna be doing like, you know, streaming and stuff, but then many others are gonna like get bored of it quick and be like, this is not something that is equivalent to human connectivity-ness, you know? Regardless of what's going on in the world, like, forget it. And how it's been spinned to make you believe one thing and stuff. I'm not getting into that, but like, you just be a judge of what you do with your time and stuff. In this earth, oh my word, look at all this. Look at all these goodies. Oh, goodies. Now, do we have to take all those? Nah. Are we a threat from dying at this point? Nah. You just give me more power and I'm content. Now, could I have taken Goat Head? Yeah, but why? I ask you. You know, I think this game is like going after me by giving me these items, so the game likes me right now. The game has a soul that knows exactly what I want and don't want in this like reality of things. Yes, I heard of a lot of traction. You could technically attribute that and stuff like that, some kind of a universe thing, whatever. Oh yeah, the universe is vibrating. such frequency that I am aligned with them and I am enlightened. You know, you can believe what you want. Okay, who's our next boss here? I mean, look at that. We already replenished our health at this point. Big Serpent's Kiss. I think that's what we have. We're gonna get Guppy out of this pretty soon. So I think we got Guppy's tail. It's like one more Guppy item. Ah. I remember when I was doing some cinema classes, we had we had films to like critique in the classroom, and then we also had to go to like the local like student-run theater to like watch independent films and do reviews on them. I mean, we could have also did like blockbuster stuff like at a local theater too. But I did less of that. I did more of the independent stuff. I did review the movie let's see, not Pennywise. It, the first It, at the time. And yeah, mine was mostly like independent stuff. Another one I another one I wrote a review on was, what was it called? Holy Motors. And that was a French film. And that was very questionable. I had another instructor was recommending us to go see it. Don't watch the trailers, just go and see it. Because that's going to ruin it if you watch the trailer. So I did, and I didn't expect what I was going to see. A whole different kind of like world out there with that, for sure. And I made this prediction like when I was in class talking about like the roles of like theaters and like during this time when Fox was being acquired by Disney, there was this discussion about, theaters and stuff. I kind of brought up a good point. And this was long before I mean, this is just not one of those things where it's like, oh, he saw the future, man. He made a bold prediction. No. You think I was going to suspect to be a national pandemic in a couple of years that's going to do this? No. And what I was like, I guess you could consider a prediction, was there's going to be more of a phase out of theaters because of the cost of everything. Because you kind of see a trend now with like streaming services starting to take off. And people are becoming less and less reluctant to go out and do things. Because, I mean, you see that now with like, Boy Scouts, less of a turnout, and the Girl Scouts too. Little league stuff, local stuff, community stuff, huge like decline. I see that personally here too well, not here, but my hometown. The huge decline caused a lot of like significant changes and how to adapt to them. And I kind of like pointed that kind of aspect going on and how that's going to like shift things with the theater industry. Now, will it be as profitable as the theater industry? I don't know. Probably not. But that's kind of up in the air right now. Because with this COVID stuff, when it first started happening, these states, these countries and stuff started like shutting things down and keeping stuff shut down, still shut down. And that caused a huge, of course, significant decline We did get Guppy for the 3rd run in a row. Let's go. That's our last room, though, but you know, whatever. 3 Guppies in a row. That's a streak. But yeah, as I was saying, like, the whole thing with that, we went the wrong way. The whole thing with that was, like, I suspected, like, that was going to happen. But I don't know when. And now that I'm seeing with these theaters being closed left to right, have to be bailed out, they're losing money. There aren't as many theaters open. Like, there's also been at the same time more of a push, more of an aggressive push to get those kind of streaming services up and running. It's an unfortunate time, sadly. So hopefully there's some kind of a reverse train into this. Not reverse train, but a reverse like trend, I mean. And thanks for watching. We had a really powerful run and a really quick run too. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.